Tell me a time you ever saw Brooklyn flooded like this after a rainstorm. I am born and raised in Brooklyn. I have never saw Brooklyn look like this after a rainstorm. So you're telling me the rain came off the coast and did this to Brooklyn? Or are you telling me that our drainage system is just that bad that Brooklyn is flooded like this? I've been through Hurricane Sandy. We had some crazy storms in the 90s. We had some crazy storms in the 80s. And I ain't never seen Brooklyn look like this. We see what Hurricane Melissa did to Jamaica. But then if you go down that rabbit hole and you look up Vision 2030 Jamaica, you tell me what that means. So now you gotta ask yourself, what's going on in Brooklyn? Because I've never saw rain do that to Brooklyn, let alone a spot in Brooklyn that's not by water. And this is for entertainment purposes only. But this leads me back to Texas. Earlier this year, floods, rain, unexplainable rain, no warning, no nothing. So you're telling me that these people didn't know that Brooklyn was going to get this type of weather? And then I have to ask myself, what do they want with Brooklyn? What do they want with Brooklyn? I'm going to just say this. I've never seen Brooklyn look like that ever in my whole entire existence. Pay attention.
Welcome once again to Court in Session. As you can see by the prior clips, there's never a dull moment in the great city of New York, as just as we elected in our new mayor, this occurred. The city was underwater once again, and no, not from a Category 4, Category 5 hurricane, not from a typhoon, but what was said to be approximately 2 3/4 inches of rain. That, yes, it did fall within most of that rainfall was within a period of 2 hours, but nonetheless, not an excuse for most of the city, including Manhattan and inner parts of Brooklyn, to be completely, as you can see by the footage, completely flooded. The subways completely flooded again. For those of us that lived through Sandy, as the brother mentioned in the video clip before, this is unprecedented in terms of what we're seeing in terms of damage and in terms of the amount of flooding and water that the city takes on anytime there is a significant amount of rainfall. And right now, we're having our government agencies finger pointing between the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, and the MTA, which are allotted massive sums of money, but yet they're both basically blaming each other for uncleared drains and the maintenance of the sewage system, or lack of maintenance of the sewage system, which in turn causes this. And that leads us to another issue that we have in the city of New York, is our antiquated sewage system that is from the late 17 or early 1800s, and has not been maintained or upgraded in a very, very long time. And that opens up the questions of where our tax money is going in terms of tax-paying citizens that have been forced to have many different pet projects of our government officials finance, yet the well-being and the upkeep of the city is neglected. And then, of course, you have the crowd that says that this is all due to global warming. And yes, that is probably part of the reason why we're experiencing a frequency in storms. As you noticed, if you watch the news, Las Vegas and parts of Nevada were underwater as well last night. So this is a problem globally, as we just had the massive Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, which many argue, including scientists who are qualified, that it wasn't at the hands of man, or pardon me, was at the hands of man and not act of nature. This is unprecedented and also unacceptable in terms of how our local politicians and even politicians on the macro scale have approached flooding and massive rainstorms that will cause billions of dollars of damage. And as we can see, the loss of life. RIP to the man who lost his life not too far from our football field here in Brooklyn, apparently going back into his flooded apartment to try and save his pets. A life was lost, and that wasn't the first one. We had lives lost during Sandy. This will continue to occur as storms will intensify. What is our city doing, and what are we, the people, doing in terms of holding our local politicians to the fire and making sure things like storm drains are frequently cleared and our sewage system is monitored and upgraded to be able to withstand increasing rainfall and increasing severe storms moving forward. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the situation. Was it man made or was this an act of nature? Let me know in the comment section. Peace and blessings.